Hello guys, NautoAisDx here, and I want to give my thoughts on apparently there was some shocker this morning. So when I woke up, checked out YouTube what's going on, apparently Nintendo announced something, and this something is gonna be their 2020 Nintendo holiday game. Yes, out of nowhere, I was shocked. I'm like, and when I saw this game, I said, yes, this makes sense. It actually makes sense to what it is. So what am I talking about? So apparently Nintendo just announced a new Legend of Zelda game, and surprisingly, and this is going to be a little bit tricky, it's not a spin-off. It's an actual game that takes place during the Breath of the Wild timeline. Yeah, you heard me right. So people thought, wait, finally they're going to come this year, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, which it was announced in Easter 2019? No, but they did something that was interesting, and I said to myself, this actually makes sense. It makes sense. So they just announced Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. So the first thing you see the title, Hyrule Warriors. So of course, what does that mean? It's a Tecmo Koei game. It's a Musou game. So a lot of people don't really like Musou game. Believe it or not, I like Musou game, but lately the only reason I'm starting to be less interested is two major reasons. One is the innovation is just not there anymore. I don't know, there's just something that's just not clicking on me. And of course, the biggest one for me, the second one is from Tecmo Koei, is the lack of English dub. They stopped doing English dub, and this is Dynasty Warrior. And of course, with Dynasty Warrior 9, that was still a controversy, but that's a different story there. So here's a backstory about Tecmo Koei. If they're doing their own game and they're funding their own game, they're publishing, then yeah, it's a little bit tricky, and that's where they end up not dubbing the game. If it's a other company, say like Nintendo, Square Enix, Atlas, etc., 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 and they're only there to develop games, then yeah, they have no problem. And when it comes with Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, yeah, there's no problem there because Nintendo's funding the game, and guess what? Nintendo's rich as whatever, they're rich. So, okay, so enough of that backstory. So what is Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity besides it's another Hyrule Musou game? And actually, here's the interesting part. This game is actually a prequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So it takes place 100 years before the actual game, because if you follow the lore of Breath of the Wild, and again, spoiler here a bit, but if you have not played this game when it first came out in 2017, where were you? Like seriously, where were you? I mean, this is one of the major game and one of the launch title for the Switch. So in that game, they told the story of 100 years before what happened. There was a war and the good guy lost, and you see Link basically waking up on his cryostatus water pond, whatever they call it, and of course you do your journey. So Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity kind of gives the backstory of what did happen 100 years ago and what is the Calamity War, because yes, that is part of the story, is the Calamity War. So how do you kind of do a war type story in a Legend of Zelda game? Why not make it a Musou game? It makes sense. Dynasty Warrior, what people don't know, and heck, Samurai Warrior to some extent, is all about war. It's always been about war. The Sengaku War, the Yellow Turban War, or Rebellion, those are war. It's not just Final Fight, you go one place to another, just beat up bad guys. It's actually a war. So they're doing something like this here, and it's a war against Calamity Ganon and all the bad guys. So that is interesting there. So what I think about it, I think it's a great game. It's a Musou game. It will have English dub because there's actually voice acting. Yeah, Link's probably not going to talk like again. They're probably going to have some fairy, going to hang around with Link, but at least it's going to have voice acting. One of the controversy with Hyrule Warrior was, to some extent, is the lack of voice acting. And especially this type of game, when it's fast-paced, you're going to need some voice to navigate what's going on, believe it or not. But, you know, that could be a preference. But anyway, yeah, so I'm excited about this game. And this is their holiday title because it's going to come out November 20, 2020. So that's the date. So there you go. your holiday title. I mean, there was been a lot of rumor that it could have been Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, but no, this is it. It's gonna come this November. So surprisingly, and apparently there have been a lot of talks that this game was meant to be at E3 2020, but of course you know what happened there. So overall, Nintendo's doing good. They're not like giving up on 2020, some people said, and all this frustration was for naught because some people, I hate to say it, it's just patient is the key. I keep saying it. Be patient, they're gonna have something. But no, because after the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase Episode 2, oh my god, the Nintendo fans were just like, oh my gosh, this is not what I want from Nintendo. Like, and I keep saying, just be patient, they're gonna have something. They got Super Mario 3D World Collection coming this September, Pikmin 3 Deluxe in October, and then their holiday title, the biggest one, a new game, it's not a deluxe edition, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. And there you go. And then, yep, that's all, folks. They're done. That's it. Heck, there's even that Pokemon expansion, which so far nobody's talking about it, the Crown of Sundra, whatever happened to that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that thing actually got delayed because of the pandemic, but different story there. So, anyway, my thoughts, it's awesome. Hopefully people are happy about it, that they finally showed it, so relax, I can't wait for it. So that's my thoughts about Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Yes, this is not a spin-off. However, let's just say it's part of the Hyrule Breath of the Wild trilogy. Let's just go with that one. Credit to Spawnwave. And this is like the second game. Can I give you the backstory of what happened? I mean, maybe it'll give you a hint of what happens to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. And yes, for that game, yeah, according to AG and Yuma, they said they're working on it. So my guess is going to be, again, another one that kind of makes sense. It might be released as a holiday title for 2021. So be patient. Remember, next year is the 35th anniversary of the Legend of Zelda series. So again, it makes sense. So just be patient. So those are my thoughts. And with that, I'll see you guys later.